Let's go, chat. The Farragut. The Farragut. One of my favorite destroyers. I think it's my favorite DD at tier 6. He's a pinky boy though. He's a bad boy, chat. He is a pinky boy. So going through, I don't know if this is his captain for this or what. I think he's running. Okay, he is running the correct haul. So 5 guns. He has concealment expert. Good. Does not have radio location. Obviously, if he's going through the line, probably wouldn't have it. But always a wonderful thing to have. But tier 6, Farragut, very good. Has really good alpha on its guns. Can be a complete bully for DDs. Even in my opinion, up tier is decently well. But let's check it out. Always breaking down the teams first. First of all, no CVs. Check. Second of all, which DDs do they have? They have 4 DDs. I believe he's outspotted by all of them. So we've got to play a little bit careful there, but he's going to be able to beat pretty much everything 1v1 besides the Gaja. And then no radars. So he kind of has a nice little game here. So we will see where he goes. And I think probably a smart thing for him to do is support this Gaja Mata that's following in. I think that would be a really good thing to make a little friend here and go with this. Now, there isn't a CV in the game, but it is, in my opinion, a good habit to do and turn off your AA at the start of the game. It's a habit I think is really good to get into. You never know when there's going to be a spotter plane that peeks around an island or a fighter plane or what have you. It is just a good habit to get into and could really potentially, I wouldn't say keep you alive, but kind of keep the chance of getting spotted by an accidental AA going off. Nice and pink. There you go. There's the guapard. So, there you go. So, all right. So, right there is a nice thing to kind of learn from. Well, we know that the Gaja can't hit you with Torps. He was really focused on potentially getting those Torps out, right? Just shoot. Just shoot at that point. Just get your guns out there and just shoot. Trying to like think of how much damage you could have done there if you just would have fired, and just kind of focused on getting damage out with your guns, and then maybe throwing out the Torps, right? You know that the Gaja is still there. You know that the Gaja is still on cap because you're not capping the cap. Then launch your Torps out. Just focus at the start, just using your guns. As we all know, we have our friendly Pensacola. He's gonna go save the world. Got the Farragut, very nice, and the Pensacola will show us how to do it. Well done. So trading a Pensacola for a Gaja is fantastic because you can basically wreck everything else 1v1. But yeah, at the start, I think you missed some decent damage there. Now you ended up getting the Gaja anyway, but just using your guns, fighting, and trying to where are they gonna go? Where are they lining up the Torps right? Where are they gonna go? You could have pumped out 3, 4, 5, 6,000 damage in gun alpha. Just get that damage in while you can. Get that damage in while you can. Also, a good habit to get into too. Obviously, it didn't happen this game. Sitting broadside in smoke, as both him and the Gaja did, very bad. Very, very bad. Get in the habit of angling away, and I always say backing into caps or giving yourself an out. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes new destroyer players don't make, is they don't give themselves outs. What I mean by that is they angle into things, they push into things, and they I'm not quite sure what he's trying to torp here. So the Mutsuki went south. You can see it because last spotted. And the guapad is over there as well. I don't think those would reach. I'd probably just hold on to him. I think he thinks something is in a different area right now. We know he's not there because of B cap is being spotted or being capped. So we know there's no DD there. But no, always giving yourself as a destroyer, especially in caps, an out. Now he doesn't have to worry about radar, right? Because no one has radar in this game, or in this game he's in. But yeah, he's gotta be careful. Off to the right, right side, right side. He's capping the cap. Yep. So, right here, a good example. Minimap is overpowered. Minimap is overpowered. He said he's a new DD player though, so there's lots going on. I think even DD play is a bit sensory overload. Fire those guns, fire them, get the damage in. You're never gonna find him again. Your guns are the play. But no, as a DD player, especially one that you're gonna be using both guns and torps, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So getting into a spot where you got to shoot and torp and, you know, avoid torps and all this kind of stuff, that can be a little much for a newer player. Also, again, sitting broadside in smoke, we're going to try to avoid that as much as possible. One thing you can kind of do is angle away. You'll still get all your guns on, but still allowing yourself to have all the guns on target, allowing yourself to angle away. Because think about it, from where he's going, you are as big a target as possible right now. As big a target as possible. So you want to make yourself a small target. What do you do? How do you make yourself a small target? By turning broadside or angling in. Mainly angling away, I always still do that, but right now he's pretty lucky that one, the Matsuki didn't have torps. Two, you know, the Guab hadn't rotated around the corner and had torps as well. Because when you fire, you're not invisible. You can still see those shells coming out. You can see where they're coming from at least. So he's completely focused on the battleship and getting damage in, which is good, but also not really paying attention to maybe everything around. I think the French destroyer has 8 or 9k torps, and the Matsuki has 10, so he's obviously within torp range, but still just sitting broadside. So a couple things there I think will just help you overall, but if you can learn it early, you'll just be a better DD late game. I mean, shit, if you're not a destroyer that just sits in smoke broadside, you're better than half the player base, it seems like. Is AK the entire French line? I thought so. But again, also, it's always good to learn. Oh, I got the nose fire, nice. That dude's dead. It's always good to learn, again, your firing and smoke penalty, especially since it's a new player. Fire and smoke penalty, that's the distance you will be spotted, guaranteed, when you fire in your smoke. So it's just a good thing to learn. Yep, because you gotta think about it, right? Things are gonna launch torps at the smoke because they can see. You know, you're gonna get a flash, a muzzle flash. The shell obviously is coming out of that. You're gonna get muzzle flashes from all of the guns, right? So if it's perfectly lined up, you know they're sitting perfectly broadside. So you have this, okay, he's firing there, and I'm gonna put my torps right there. If the Matsuki would have put the torps right there, he would have been dead. The French destroyer would have put the torps right there, he would have been dead. So he's pretty lucky that they didn't have torps, because he'd be back in port already. But a good thing to do is just angle away from it. You can still get your guns on target. You don't have to be perfect north-south away, but at least give yourself the chance to accelerate and not be broadside. You want to make yourself as small of an angle as possible. So, and instead of just like sitting perfectly broadside and you're just angled away kind of like that, almost at a 45, you can curl out and make up that distance a lot faster than if you're sitting here and then having to make the turn. So that's what you kind of want to avoid, especially since you have speed boost. And this is good. This is good for a new player. What you did right here is beautiful. So what he's doing right here is, that guy's spotted. Use and abuse terrain. By all means, use and abuse terrain. Yeah, that's a good play. That's not new player play right there. That's a good job. And he forced repair, which is amazing. Time to get that fire. Time to get that sticky fire. Oh, bummer. He's got to be a little bit careful here too, because the Gneisenau does have the epic debate. No, don't leave the smoke. You're good. Okay, I think he's stopping. Back it up. Not a new player, just new. Okay, that's fine. But I mean, yeah, DDs aren't the easiest line to play. They get punished. You know, they're gonna get punished the most. They have the smallest health pool. So, learning how to do some of this stuff early is really good. You know what I would do, man? I would just, if the Gneisenau is gonna hit me, he's gonna hit me. Just calls bullshit. Just keep firing at him. Just keep firing at him. He's gonna hit you too. It's only gonna be basically an overpen, so you're pretty safe. The DD south. You do have the Normandy north, but I would let the Normandy kind of come a little bit closer, and I would 100% use this island right here to maybe get a dev strike on him. But you chased away the Gneisenau. I mean, he's just kind of sailing in circles. I would farm that whole time. I would farm that whole time. Yeah, Gneisenau is so inaccurate. If he wants to try to blind fire you, go for it. But 61k, good. Bunch of defenses. Got the dev strike as well early game, which is good against the DD. So here I would switch focus. I would switch focus right here and focus on this Normandy. Nice, got a double fire. He's gonna repair it pretty quick, but the last fire out there. And let's see what the Normandy does. Ooh, clutch reset. A little aggressive here, but it's still fine. No, I would not launch that. I would do a full-blown surprise sneak attack. Right there. So this is a really good thing to learn too, and it's not blowing your entire load. All right, figuratively and literally, chat. Now I'm trying to teach something, and he's gonna line up and get a dev strike right here, isn't he? He's gonna get a dev strike. I'm gonna be like, hey, trying to help out, trying to learn you something, and there's the dev strike. All right. So, as I was saying, just do whatever, have fun. Just have fun, who cares? Just say, yeah, whatever. But, a good thing to learn is not basically blowing your entire load. And what I mean by that is saving, a set of torps. So if it's the shimmer, right, launching 2 and holding on to a 3 when you're that close, because if you don't miss, you want to have something to defend yourself. We didn't know where that guy was going to go. We didn't know if he was going to push around into him. We didn't know if he was going to push that way. He sailed in a straight line and lined up perfectly for him. So that is just wonderful, and it made for a funny moment, at least on stream. So, he is a Camelus Gneisenau. I think this is fine. Now what I mean by when I talk about that though is now what I'm trying to say is, for this it's fine, but when something's pushing into you that you don't know exactly where they are, it's really good practice to save a torp salvo. It's a really good habit to save a torp salvo. Now something like that, who cares, right? Some people even in that situation would have done one normal spread, one wide spread. That's fine, but when he didn't know where the Normandy was, I like to save one set of torps, because if I miss, well, then you have another set just in case they're around the corner. In a lot of situations, most DDs will will probably be able to at least dev strike, if not with a little bit of help. You have the gun eyes out there, probably kill the battleship. The lesson is don't be that Normandy. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the GG rest game. Good damage though, 100k. The Farragut's really, really, really good. Got 2 dev strikes, bunch of base defends. But yeah, I think there's a couple things to learn in this game. I think this is a really good example. This is what I want for replay analysis is, 1, learn how to angle away. Always give yourself an out. Always give yourself an out. So getting away from sitting in smoke, or sitting broadside in smoke. And what a lot of people will do is they'll sit broadside on the edge of the cap because they don't want to get spotted or don't want to do whatever. And what ends up happening is you make yourself as big of a target as possible to catch torps. Angle away. Don't angle in. Don't push in. Angle away. You always see me like, you'll see people, and I'll talk about like back into a cap or something like that. And so that would be probably the biggest thing. Also at the start of the game, there's a lot going on. DD versus DD fight. Just focus on throwing those main battery salvos out, because what you want to do is, yeah, you end up hitting the 1 torp early, but high speed. What's wrong with that? We're doing a replay analysis. But what you want to get as much damage as possible against something like the Gajimata, because the Gajimata is just going to beat you 1v1. Same skilled person is just going to beat you 1v1. You want to pump in as much damage as possible early for those destroyers, so you can win the fight later if needed, right? So there was one part at the start of the game where he fired his guns once, I think, and then tried to figure out where he was going to throw his torp. Through the torp, obviously the DD didn't hit. He threw the second one out later. That's fine. Save your torps for that. But just pump out that damage. Get that damage in. Get that damage in. Fire those guns. Let them do the work. Let them do the work, chat. But good game. Good one. That's a good one to learn from.